What's going on, guys? I just wanted to come and drop a short video. At least I think it's gonna be short. But y'all know me, man, when I get to ranting, I just go and it's hard to slow down. But what I wanted to come and talk to you guys today about was isolation and how isolation is necessary and it is needed if you want to be successful in life. And when I say successful, I mean from a monetary standpoint, because success can be in all different facets of life. Is very subjective. It just depends on the person and what they want to be successful at. So in this video, I'm talking strictly monetary, which is money. But I would say isolation is needed because when you're in a period of isolation, it is a period of self-growth and self-development. You don't really understand yourself and know yourself until you take that time and spend it only to yourself. Now, today, there's so much distraction, there's so much noise. And noise is anything that is distracting you, anything that is stopping you from doing what you want to do is considered noise. So there's so much noise today, whether it's friends, whether it's television, whether it's social media, whether it's school, whether it's work. There's so many distractions in our lives today, and we only have 24 hours. So if I am working 8 hours a day and I'm sleeping, 6 to 8 hours a day, I only have so much time left. And part of that time is chewed up with talking on the phone, talking to friends, eating, just doing miscellaneous things. So you never have that time to yourself. You never have that time to dissect yourself and your behaviors and what you're doing wrong and what you're doing correctly. And you need that period of self-reflection in order to understand where you're going in life and where you want to go in life and where you want to be in life. So it is a must to have any kind of success to have isolation. And when I say isolation, I know it's hard for a lot of people out there to isolate themselves from their friends, from social media. I know it's very hard, but it's something that you have to do if you want to be successful in life. For me, I'm social, antisocial, but I would say most of the time I'm antisocial. I'm usually to myself. So for me, it's not difficult to be, in isolation. I usually spend my isolation reading books. I spend it thinking about what I'm doing currently in my life and how is this translating to my goals. I spend it writing down, journaling, because the thing about isolation, it allows you to go deep within yourself. And everything in this world has been created from thought first. It goes from thought and it goes from speech or it goes to writing. So everything that's been created, whether it's television, whether it's cars, whether it's your kitchen table, it first started off as a thought. That's why your mind is the most important thing that you have on your body. And we don't take enough time helping it, repairing it, studying it, trying to enhance it. We don't spend enough time doing those type of things in order to achieve the things that we want to achieve. So what I do a lot is I like to dissect my mind. I like to see how it's feeling. Why am I feeling, a certain way in this time period? What is affecting that emotion? What is bringing that emotion out? How can I change that emotion? What mentality, what state am I in? Am I in a passive state? Am I not really trying to go out there and achieve things? Because sometimes we get in periods of life where we're complacent, no different than playing a sport. Sometimes an athlete may be aggressive in trying to score the basket, and sometimes they're very passive. They're very complacent. So we are also like that when it comes to life, and we need to understand what stage we are in. Are we in a complacent season or are we in an aggressive season? So it allows me to dissect where I am in my life from a mental standpoint and whether I need to change, whether I need to pick up my tempo, whether I need to slow things down, because always being on the aggressive side also breaks you down and wears you out. So Maybe I need to pull back a little bit on the things that I'm doing. My hustle, my grind. I need to pull back a little bit because it's wearing me out. Jamie Foxx just recently had a stroke because he's wearing himself out working on a new movie. So understanding where you are in life in that period. Maybe I'm too complacent. Maybe I've been too happy with the job that I have. Maybe I need to be picking up my tempo in order to achieve more. I need to do more. So you need that time of self-reflection to see where you're at and where your mind is at. When it comes to creating a better life, what is great about, the book, The Secret, is the I think I can achieve type of mentality, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, that you have to constantly feed your mind the thought of the reward that you want in order to achieve it, because everything starts off first as a thought. So you have to think it and you have to believe that you can achieve it. Now, after you thought it, you believed it, now you're saying it to yourself. It's verbal confirmations. You have to constantly be telling yourself that this is what you want to do. This is where you're going to be in 5 years. This is where you're going to be in 10 years. And then from there, it's putting those steps into action. So when you become successful, people may say, oh, you were lucky. Oh, you were lucky. No. You weren't lucky. What it was that you put your focus into it. You put your mind, you spoke it, and you put your action, you put your steps towards achieving that goal. So when you achieve that outcome, it isn't luck. It's you putting your focus and your energy towards accomplishing that goal. And you can only really do that when you're in a season of isolation, where you have to focus on what it is that you want and how you plan on getting there. If you're too busy hanging out with friends, if you're too busy being on your phone, if you're too busy watching TV, you'll never be able to set aside that time to put your mind on what matters most and what's really important, because you need to understand the steps that it's going to take to achieve that goal. And if you don't have those steps, you don't know those steps, you're not going to achieve that goal. You need a plan. And having a plan means you need to take time and write it out. You need to take time, think it out, write it out, give yourself verbal confirmations if that's what you need to do. If you need to get stronger with God and build more faith and ask him for guidance in the direction that you go in your life, then you need to do that as well. That's what I do. I ask him for guidance to be the driving force in my life. So when I make decisions, I want him to be helping me in those decisions. I want him to be there with me in my decision-making process, so I can always feel comfortable about making the right choice. So isolation is really what I'm trying to nail down, is probably the key to achieving success. You need isolation. You need to detach from everything and everyone if you really want to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself in this life. If you really want to be that person making XYZ 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you need to be able to detach from these worldly, earthly objects and focus on what matters most to you. And whether that's money, which is what I'm kind of talking about right now, but success, as I've said before, can translate into every aspect of life, whether it's being a great father, whether it's you trying to become more spiritual, being more successful at your spiritual path, your spiritual walk in life. Everything that you're going to become successful at is going to need that focus. And you need to manage your time in an intelligent way so that nothing is being wasted. Time at the end of the day is your most valuable resource. So that is something you need to be structuring every day. What all am I going to give my time to? I'm giving 8 hours to work. I'm giving 8 hours to sleeping. What am I going to do with those rest of those hours? It's critical to achieving success. It's critical. I mean, it's the most important thing in your life, time, because it's something that you can never get back. So you need to value it. And most of that time needs to be spent on yourself and your mind. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm gonna have more content on the way, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.